Maybe you like cooking. Maybe you don't. Either way, the new Blue Apron is for you. Because along with our classic meal kits, we're offering new pre-made and one-pan meals to help you get dinner on the table fast. And now there's no subscription needed, so you can just order and enjoy. Do delicious food your way. Shop 100 plus meals at blueapron.com. Get 50% off your first 2 orders with code APRON50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Coming up, looking back on a year of USA Rugby, what teams, players, or moments were gifts for American fans and which felt more like lumps of coal? Plenty of Eagles stuff to look back on for the holiday season. Sit back and enjoy. As always, get in touch and tell us what you think. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and welcome back. This is the Maul Street Journal. Hello, and welcome to the Maul Street Journal, the podcast that brings you all the latest news and reviews for all things American rugby. We are part of the Global Gainline Network and can be found on all your usual platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. So if you haven't already, give us a like or a subscribe, tell a couple of friends about us, or if you really want to make our holidays merry and bright, wrap a signed Ariana jersey around a nice signed Perry Baker jersey and hand it to us in New York for the Sevens in March. So this is episode 20. It's a bit of a holiday bonus episode. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host for today, David Lawrence. I'm here once again with Kolya. Kolya, how was your Christmas?
Pretty good. It actually got a little bit cold here in Texas for a few days. It's back up to the 70s now. But nice, school's out, so that's always fun. My family pulls a bunch of traditions from pretty much everywhere. One of them is something called Pfeffernuss.
Yes, I love Pfeffernuss.
Yes, which are these little German spice cookies.
And very much either loved or hated.
Yes.
Very little in between.
Yes.
All those German sweets tend to just suck the moisture out of your mouth as soon as you start to eat them.
Exactly. It's remarkable that I was going to say that my parents love, oh my God.
Stollen?
Stollen, thank you. Yeah, my parents love Stollen. And also one that it's confounding to eat.
Kolya, where do you stand on marzipan?
Not a big fan.
There you go.
Looks good. Tend to peel it off.
That's my thing. It's like fondant. Like looks cool. I'm
exactly. Oh, that's neat.
So, what are y'all's thoughts on Turkish Delight?
Only had it once. I was overly excited because of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes.
Because you're a reader.
Yes.
It was really built up in my head, and then I was like, oh. So.
It was also built up. It was also built up in my head, and I actually had it in Turkey, but I was like 13. Either way, I know that it's not for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really want it to be because like it's just like the pizza in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I want to eat that. That looks so good. I want to eat it. The way you talked about it, I want to eat that so bad.
Yes.
In our house, the greatest thing you see, especially in a cartoon that makes you want to eat, is just the turkey leg. The whole put the whole thing in your mouth, pop it out, and you got a bone. Oh.
I think about that more often. Like. It's kind of crazy that you even brought that up because I think about that more often than I think most adults do. And I'm like, it's kind of weird that you think all the time about eating a cartoon turkey leg. And I'm like, yeah, but it looks so good.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, for dinner, I wish I had a cartoon turkey leg. And my wife's like, that's not real. You like a real food? Would you like a real food?
Yeah. So speaking of the turkey, we don't do the turkey for Christmas.
Okay.
We just do it for Thanksgiving. What we do is actually Christmas lasagna, which came about as kind of an accidental thing years ago. And it's not the normal Italian lasagna. It's kind of a Texas style.
Texas will take any food and make it theirs.
Yes. So it's kind of a poblano chicken lasagna type thing.
Oh, dang. That's probably better than how much I would like regular lasagna.
So
that's very cool.
So it's very green.
I was gonna say it sounds very Southwestern.
Yes.
we went up to Maine a few years ago for my brother wanted to host Christmas, and without telling anyone, Christmas dinner was salmon. First of all, I simply don't eat fish, which he has
I was
known
gonna
for
say
my entire life. But
I don't eat
also
seafood, so
salmon, and you're not gonna tell people, like, by the way,
do a heads up.
just so you know, the main thing. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
Also, joining us today from the Nutmeg State, it's Rugby Julia. Julia, how was Hanukkah this year?
I'm thinking now.
I know you know this one.
New Hampshire?
Go Huskies.
Connecticut. Damn. All right. It was Connecticut. I knew it was one of the two. Okay. So Hanukkah was unfortunately, we had a little inside baseball for the fans. We had planned to record earlier. I got incredibly sick. So I wasn't sick for all of Hanukkah, but kind of lower key anyway. I don't know if you've noticed the state of the world right now, just not super joyous one, or America. Doing great everywhere else. So yeah, kind of low key. In fact, just today, because of how sick I got and my wife's family got, we're going up to Pennsylvania to see her family this weekend. But I just did my family's Christmas today.
Oh,
so
yeah,
which was nice. My sister is doing a medical fellowship, which is what you do after you finish medical school, in Philly. So she could only get off for today, and
oh, I see.
why not?
Either of you get a favorite gift this year? Or perhaps gave?
I do have mine, but I want Kolya to go first if he has one.
Let's see. Getting my kids their first microscope.
Yes,
Ooh,
that's a good one.
nice.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I wish mine was more noble. It's not. It's a gift I received. And it actually was, and it was very funny that you opened with the story that you did, David, because my wife is very good at giving gifts, and it's always like stuff that she remembered that I named offhand several months ago. And in this case, it must have been during the summer that I was talking about it when we were podcasting, and I was doing this one and some others as well, and then there was the World Cup. And I was like, it's really a pain in the ass, like between recordings or whatever, to go upstairs and get cold beer. She was like, what if you had a mini fridge in your office? And now I have a mini fridge in my office.
Oh, sweet.
I know, but the problem is that now I have the TV where I can watch rugby, and I have the mini fridge. Like, what if I just never?
I was gonna say, you might never see her again.
What if I never resurface?
She might have stealth broken up with you.
There is, I still have to find somewhere to pee, so you'll see.
Okay. Next year.
Next year, exactly. It's what I'm thinking. I'm going to start dropping hints now. I'm like, they have these weird indoor toilets.
Get a gold bucket. Well, my family had a lovely Saturnalia, though we couldn't find anyone to sacrifice this year, but probably for the best, I suppose. I don't really need the legal hassles on top of everything else.
It's a lot of paperwork.
I know. Either way, as I said, this is a special bonus episode, our first, kind of. We're going to give out some holiday awards for USA Rugby over the past year. These awards, come in the form of gifts or coal, as in, this great moment was a great gift to fans, while this other thing felt more like a lump of coal. Could be a game, player, a team, coach, you name it. If it had anything to do with USA Rugby, it's eligible, and I think this is going to be fun. I thought we would look at the men's and women's performances this year for the 15s, take a look at the 7s, and maybe, a wink and a nod at the MLR, and then just do some sort of overall final thoughts. Before we get into the specifics, though, I actually have kind of a general one. My first gift on offer this year, the 50th anniversary of USA Rugby. So USA Rugby was founded in June 1975. It was formed when 4 regional territories, the Pacific Coast, the West, the Midwest, and the East, decided they needed a unified voice to govern the game and represent the U.S. internationally. When those 4 territorial organizations met in Chicago in June of 1975 to form the USA Rugby Football Union, it was designed by men for the men's game. However, the reality on the ground was already moving much faster than the bureaucracy. By 1975, women were already playing competitive rugby in the U.S. Teams like Colorado State, the University of Colorado, and Illinois had been active since 1972. Because the 1975 charter didn't formally integrate them, the women were essentially forced to self-govern. They formed their own board of directors and a women's committee that operated in parallel to the men's four-territory structure. For the first few years, women's rugby existed under the auspices of USA Rugby, but without full legal or financial integration. They basically mirrored the men's geographic boundaries so they could organize their own matches and eventually their first national championship in 1978, but they were largely responsible for their own funding and administration. It actually took quite a while for the women's game to be fully woven into the fabric of the organization. In 1985, the first unofficial national tour happened. In 1987, the first official women's Eagles team was formed. And in 1991, the USA women won their first ever Women's World Cup at a time when they were still fighting for equal standing and resources within the home union. Stop me if you've heard this before. In this 50th year, there has been a significant effort to correct the record and acknowledge that while the charter might have been male-centric in 1975, the community was diverse from the start. The 50th Anniversary Committee has actually been much more vocal about celebrating the pioneers of the 70s, women like Kathy Flores and others who played in that era without official recognition. That means I get to give a shout-out to my friend Jan Rutkowski, who scored a try in that 1991 victory over England. So happy anniversary to all. We're still a long way from where we want to be, but we appreciate a half century of hard work on all sides. Either of you have any thoughts on the 50th anniversary just passing us now?
It was a really great little tribute. I like that a lot.
Yes.
No, I in some ways it's remarkable what we've done, and I really do appreciate, for all the flack that we give USA Rugby in general as an organization, I do appreciate, and I think that you're spot on there, David. I think they are actually making an effort. Can efforts be bigger, especially when it comes to women's sports? Absolutely. But I do feel that right now they're giving it a good effort to try to point out that while on the surface it looked like it was all men doing all male stuff, it's never how it was. And I think that that's something, and I think, and that's also something that I personally take as a point of pride, even though I wasn't a part of it in the beginning. I think it's one of the coolest things about rugby in America is that we didn't, and because of us being such a young union, we didn't necessarily have to make the same mistakes that RFU did, for example. We could learn and take growing pains from those around us. And, we had a little bit of a leg up, and there were a lot of struggles along the way, especially when I had just started playing in the early 2000s. The struggle was steep. But now looking back at it and considering, I'm older, I'm not playing anymore, but I'm not that old. It's moved a long way.
Yeah. It's funny because it's easy to be like, yay, good job, USA Rugby. On the other hand, it's like, you just got to acknowledge which side of the bread is buttered.
Exactly. I think that's a really good way of looking at it.
Okay, let's take a look at our Eagles and start off positive. Kolya, you were apoplectic the afternoon of our men's hiding by the Scotland under 20/over 40s, but surely you've seen some positive things this year. Do you have any gifts to hand out to the USA men?
Yes,
anything nice to say.
Yes. My biggest gift is the happiness of us actually qualifying for the World Cup with that Samoa match where we actually played well. My second one is Luke Carty, who seems to be
big highlight,
taking the reins as the 10 for the U.S., at least in McGinty's absence, and hopefully in the future once McGinty steps away and or can't play next time for injuries.
Yes, which seems likely. Julia, what about you? Any positives for our men this year? Any gifts to give out?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we were all three on this journey together for the last season. And so I think we have outlined in more detail in other episodes about what the shortfalls were, and there were a lot of them. That said, and sure, maybe I am basing this a little bit off the back of USA Rugby as a whole, not necessarily just the men's, but I do feel that there is progress being made. I think that it's a year that had a lot of challenges for the men. I think qualifying for the RWC is huge. I'm so happy they did. I think that there were a lot of warning bells in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of the season. And as we go into the next year, and as we go into this like heavy cycle prep for the men, it does feel like they're starting on a high note. And for that, considering that there have been many seasons that have started on a low note for these men, I think that's a win.
Well, I already kind of my gift this year was the same as Kolya mentioned, getting into the World Cup. I wasn't sure we were going to get that gift this
Yeah.
year. It felt like it was a bit of more of a struggle than it could have been. I'm guessing all of our coal is going to land on that side of the 85-point nilling in Scotland. I guess the bright side of which was that they didn't Scotland didn't allow Rufus McLean to play that day, but still definitely a big chunk of coal that day. Does anyone have any other coal for the USA men?
Our selection policy makes no sense.
I was just gonna say, I feel like we talk about decision making on this podcast a lot, both on the pitch and off the pitch. Off the pitch is where my coal lies for these men. It's been some strange movements, including selection.
Well, moving on, I feel like we didn't talk too much about that. On the other hand, considering how much time we spent talking about the men in the last 20 episodes negatively, I think perhaps it's best to move on.
They got the idea.
So for the women, for me, a big gift was their 60-0 victory over Samoa in the World Cup, where Frida Tafuna, she scored 4 tries and won her second consecutive Player of the Match award. She's been a revelation for us and is a real gift to our squad. She's another Lindenwood graduate, and I see her as a gift that is going to keep giving for years. Julia, any gifts to distribute to the women this year?
Yeah, Frida was also one of the top on my list. I think there are a lot of gifts, to be honest. There are some complaints to be made. We'll talk about Cole in a little bit. But overall, as a USA Women's fan, I have been quite happy this year. I think the performance at the World Cup was better than, and a lot of people came out and had a lot of negative to say that we should have gotten out of pools, all of that. And I mean, higher than we did. Maybe. We don't often, so I'm not sure where that came from. I think the performances were great. There is a lot to build on, but we also saw a lot of new names with new strengths coming and some not new names. Erica Gerald-Cersei, I think, had probably the best year of her career this past year. I think what she's doing at Sale is great as well. But speaking on those players that are taking experience elsewhere and are playing as much as they can, we have a lot more people in the pipeline than we ever have before. Our age grade is looking really great. That competition was in David, you went. That competition is great. It's heating up. There have been many years, if you're a fan of this women's team, that you have worried that there is nothing coming. What you have is what you have. I didn't have that this year. I feel really positive on that. My personal big win was going to the Fiji match in DC. It was awesome. USA Rugby has you've got fans here. We're doing record-breaking crowds. I would love to also give that as a gift. Considering that the narrative elsewhere outside of USA and Canada is that USA and Canada can never be rugby countries. Sure looks like we can. Sure looks like it.
What about you, Kolya?
So I was going to mention Frida Tafuna just because of how just box office she was during the World Cup. But then Erica Gerald-Cersei has played really, really well for Sale and is like, I'm not a fan of Sale in the men's game, so it's hard, but I've kind of started drifting to watching their matches because of her. And it was pretty cool watching Squidge's little like 288 moments thing.
Yeah.
And she showed up, I think, 3 times.
Yeah.
It warmed my whole heart. It almost felt like they're pandering.
My long-standing dumb joke about Sale for the men has been Sale's not actually a name or a place. It's just an acronym for South African lad, eh? Let's see, where am I? Kolya, sticking with you, any lumps of coal you need to drop into the stocking of USA Women's Rugby?
That England match in the first match of the World Cup.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't expect a win, but we didn't expect that either.
Yes, with what we saw the rest of the World Cup and what we saw prior to the World Cup, that just kind of came out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if we'd played up to even half of our potential, we go on to the next round instead of Australia.
that still sticks in my craw. And it's funny because you're talking about the match that right at the end that everyone loved, all the neutrals across the world. That's the greatest match in this entire world. It was the worst for me. It really was.
Yeah.
What about you, Julia? Got any coal to drop?
I'm gonna say selection, but in a different way. And now knowing a bit more that perhaps at the managerial level or at the coach level, perhaps there wasn't a longer term plan. We talked about it a lot in Media Race, like in the middle of all of this happening, we had questions about why selections were what they were. And really not selection of any specific players, but that it was never consistent. We ended up seeing a big problem with backline consistency in general because we couldn't keep that 10, 12, 13 channel cemented. It's very hard to gel together and it's very hard to make plays that score points without that. I hate to say it because the person who held the shirt for the World Cup is a player I really like. But we do have a 10 shirt problem for the women. I'd say that's our goal. It's not something that we're not working on. That's the good part. Kristen Bitter is doing a really great job over in the PWR developing as well. But that said, compared to, when the 10 for England is who they are, or, France, we can't keep kind of playing whoever knows how to do it gets the shirt.
Yeah. A question for both of you. Siono Fukafuka, did he land on the gift side or the coal side for you? I feel like did a pretty good job and then kind of, it's for me at least, unexpectedly stepped down and did the whole, I need to concentrate on my family. And then
Moved
7 weeks later, he's like, by the way, when I said spend time with my family, I meant 6 weeks.
I do believe it, and I said it before, and I know that it's conjecture, and that's fine, but I do think I'm right. I really think it was more that he didn't want to be in America anymore. I can't imagine. I'm sorry, and I understand that everybody wants to believe that like nobody is affected by politics or whatever. Yes, they are. They are when you have a group of people who roam the streets looking for brown men who don't sound like they're from here, which he did.
It's true.
Sorry, yep. And he lived in Southern California. Sorry. Going to Scotland is, objectively, and I hate saying this, but I'm going to, it's a step up. Just in terms of infrastructure, how much easier it is to get good, fast support that you have. It's a home nation. I get it. I give him coal because, no, I guess I don't. I would leave too if I were him. But that said, I had really hoped that was going to be a longer term one. It seemed like he was working well with it. I felt like he was a gift. The girls liked him.
It felt disingenuous.
It does now. It certainly does now.
It left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it does now. I am excited about how much all of the players who have spoken about it seem really excited about Jack Hanratty. Yeah. I'm curious to see how that goes. I am not dreading it like I thought I would. So,
Kolya, where did you end up landing on his tenure here?
So, I'm in a similar boat to Julia, except I would take issue with Scotland being a step up, rugby-wise.
Fair.
Just because of all their scandals that they've had recently.
Shitty run union. Shitty run union. Yeah.
And it's obviously nice to play in the Six Nations.
Yeah.
And things like that, but
I agree. I think
creamed in the Six Nations every year.
Well, they're doing much better now. They're definitely always third. But I don't know, man. If I were a coach, other than that it is not safe to live here right now, I would see this as such an opportunity. This is it. It's not that we don't have money. We do. We have some problems budgeting it sometimes. Okay. But we're not a union that leaves our players out to dry. We've seen what can happen when a union really doesn't want to, but can't support, like Rugby Canada.
Yes.
Rugby Canada had a really shitty go of it, and everybody came down on them, and they were like, it wasn't that we didn't want to, it's that we can't. USA Rugby has said that before, but I really appreciate that they're not anymore, that they're finally like, yeah, man, I mean, if Michelle Kang is going to come by and drop money, all right, we'll be serious about it.
Well, the unspoken piece is something that we've chatted with offline about. One problem for USA Rugby is that coaches who take jobs with USA Rugby tend to think this is my stepping stone to get a real job or the next thing, and that leads to a lot of turnover, and that's not good.
And you could absolutely see a Scotland appointment as honestly the next step.
Yes. Yeah, because it brings you into that European theater.
That's all I meant.
Yeah.
It's been funny because the coach for the Free Jacks, Scott Matthey, won us a couple titles in a row and then jumped ship to hop over to Edinburgh to be their attack coach. And I don't know if y'all are watching Edinburgh and their attack, but I'm like, can we have him back? But although we didn't,
do you mind if he comes back?
Although we didn't exactly miss a beat the next year. So, anyway, by the way, for the USA women, for me, a critical match against Ireland in October 2025. The women's Eagles conceded 18 penalties and were shown 3 yellow cards for Talia Brody, Rachel Ericke, and Rachel Johnson. You obviously can't expect to win at this level with 3 players in the bin. That discipline probably cost them a higher seed in the WXV standings next time around.
It did, and we also saw similar patterns, similar concerning patterns, especially early in the World Cup, but honestly, all of it.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the sevens. By the way, Kolya, will you be joining Julia and me in, quote, New York, unquote, this March?
We know you are busy, and it's also during school. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. We'll see.
I just heard that Jen Rutkowski's going to be there as well.
Look, getting a will seat out of Kolya because he's a busy dude. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Any listeners, by the way, who are going to be going to New Jersey in March, get in touch. Let's make it as big a party as we can. Plus, we always just love to hear from you. So in the sevens tournament this year, we've got the first 2 legs of this season's, frankly, kind of weird tournament in the books already. I can't decide if I like it or not yet. I guess we'll find out the next round in Singapore at the end of the month. For me, the gift this year has been our women grabbing 5th place and then 4th place. So obviously, by the transitive property, we're 3 rounds away from gold. The obvious call for me is that our men didn't play in the first 2 rounds as they had to re-qualify for the top tier. They did so, however, so we can look forward to some progress in the new year for them. Kolya, any gifts or call for the sevens tournament this year?
Well, my gift was that New Zealand match in the first round.
Very fun.
Yeah, where for a minute there we were like, holy shit, we got this.
Yes. The call is not for the US, it's for World Rugby dropping a brand new format for the sevens without telling anyone right before it starts.
And a format that everyone hates. I really wish one time World Rugby would drop a surprise I like.
Yeah.
Why are the surprises always annoying?
I was just talking to somebody about this recently too. It's every year they bend over backwards to fix something, and then they have to fix it the next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we fixed it. What did you do? Made it worse.
This is just it's so bad. It makes no sense.
This is getting rid of the scrum level.
Yes.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Julia, it's looked like business as usual for the women this season. The Black Ferns taking round 1, the Wallaroos taking round 2. Realistically, do we have a shot of getting a top 2 finish this year? I like what I've seen some of our new players too. Got any gifts and lumps of coal this year?
So that was what I was gonna say. I'm not ready to say anything like yes, second or third or anything. But I am seeing a lot of promise. I know I said this as well for the 15s, but honestly, I meant it more for the sevens of the 2. I think the development for sevens is great. Our pipeline is strong there. The new players have all impressed. I can't think of a dud off the top of my head of the younger folks. The other great thing is not only are they new, they're young, they're moldable. And honestly, now we've talked about this as well. We don't necessarily want USA to become an Ireland or a New Zealand where we have a lot of sevens and 15s crossover. Sometimes it works, usually it doesn't. We know. However, since we are at the point in development that we are in USA Rugby, we're probably going to keep having crossovers. And if that's the case, a piece of good news that we have heard is that the Sevens girls love Jack Hanratty. So is there a chance for some good synergy there? Probably. That's exciting to me. And our start hasn't been too rough. Like you said, It's been 5th and 4th. That's not that bad for us.
We could have taken 3rd against France. That gave me hope that we can hang with them.
I think so too. Absolutely, I think so too. I think France is definitely reachable fruit for this team. And what is most exciting, it's the same thing that I don't like in 15s, but luckily it's okay in 7s, so I do like it. There is a lot of rotation for our 7s team, but it's talent. It's not just we have to pull off, our 3 good people, because you can't play like 3 games all 14 minutes in a row. But people who are coming in and who are slotting in are finding their place. It means that there's good coaching underneath. We know that we love Emily Bidewell anyway, but it also means that she's got a good team behind her. And it's a lot of positive signs. I'll take a positive sign right now. Compared to the length of the whole circuit, I'll take it after 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Getting in the top 2, I don't think is possible this year, just with the talent disparity between the top 2 and everybody else.
We had Australia's number there for a little while, though. We were their bugaboo, for sure. Yes. If we can get that back.
Australia is perpetually exploitable by discipline. So as long as you can peg that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I just want to take a moment to remind all of you that liking and subscribing is the best way to help us grow. If you could tell a friend or 2, that would be smashing. We are part of the Global Gainline Network. We're incredibly grateful for your ongoing support. We're growing steadily on YouTube. We remain your one-stop shop for all things rugby. We've got Irish content, South African content. We've got the Women's Treehouse. Do yourself a favor and check it all out and help us spread the word. We really do appreciate all of you. We're closing in on 1,400 subscribers on YouTube. So, like and subscribe, do all those things. And seriously, Happy New Year and thanks to all of you. So it is confirmed now. MLR will in fact be back in just a couple of months, though in reduced form, with just 6 teams competing over 10 rounds. Looking back, Kolya, any gifts you have to bestow on our domestic men's competition?
So I've got several, but the biggest one has to be it's surviving to the next year.
Oh, mine was just going to be congratulations on happening.
Yeah, the second and kind of the more serious one is what the Chicago Hounds have been doing.
They look scary.
They have definitely won the off season.
Yeah.
You of course don't give trophies for that, but they're doing a really good job of roster management. Talking to some friends of mine in Chicago, they're doing a bunch of stuff out in the community, which is positive, and they've got a bunch of young players coming up. For example, MLR Rookie of the Year Peyton Wall, who I've talked about a lot on here, is just really good, and I want to see him play for the Eagles. And I hope that this year he finally gets those caps.
And
then
Julia, what about you? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And then of course we have to give the gift to the team that won it all, your New England Free Jacks.
Surprise. And David did it. We're congratulating David.
Yes.
I was a big part of it. I showed up.
No. My only gift, because we do know that I am MLR Newish. My only gift was congratulations on keeping going. And you know what? Just because it's always free to have your free coal is just my local team. In general.
DC Old Glory, I know you're not their number one fan, but you do still have a team.
I do, and I do support them. I love that we have professional rugby in DC. It's what you need to have so that we can have a WBR team here. Sorry, it just is.
Yeah.
I'm good. No, and by the way, I will say this for non-locals, because it is like a super local thing. Old Glory DC comes to every Pride parade and always has a fantastic booth. They're very serious about it. They show up with the IGR team here in DC as well. They have a cute little sport corner at Pride for all the DC sports, and they have a cool little display with the holes cut out where they teach people how to pass, which is really fun. And then one time, two of them packed down with me, and it was really funny because they lifted me all the way off the ground. And that was very funny to me.
No penalty, though.
No, no. Just binding in with me as the hooker, just right off the ground. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you guys have 6'1" props. It can't happen. It's not safe.
Well, DC officially broke up with the SRU. I don't know. Is that a gift or is that a call?
I could talk out of my ass.
To be fair, yeah, I don't know what that.
Yeah,
because I don't really know what the connection. I
know
about the
right at the beginning. I heard from what I heard. That's the last I heard.
Yeah. From what I heard about that, it was such a small stake that it didn't really mean anything.
That was how I understood it.
It's like if you look in soccer, like all over soccer, there are clubs that have like affiliations with different sport or with different teams. Like I know the Philadelphia Union has an affiliation with Deportivo Saprissa in Costa Rica. And other than them every once in a while putting like an Instagram post out, it means nothing.
Yeah. I don't see the army.
That's kind of what it seems.
I don't see the British Army advertising PWR at all. So
yes.
How about that?
Well, you kind of already mentioned it, but obviously my gift was by winning the 2025 MLR championship. The New England Free Jacks became the first American professional sports team to three-peat since the stupid Los Angeles Lakers in 2000 through 2002. This, for me, this is a gift of legitimacy in a league often criticized for instability. New England, we have created, I like to say we've created a blueprint for sustainable success that rivals, big four dynasties, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
What's that like for the rest of us?
My call, though, and this was already hinted at earlier, MLR downplaying the scrum. So in February of last year now, MLR introduced trials to speed up the ball and play time. They targeted 4 specific areas where a scrum used to be the default. So knock on into touch, now a line out only. Knock on into the in goal, now a goal line dropout. Failure to use it after 5 seconds, now a free kick instead of a scrum. And an unsuccessful maul, now a free kick instead of a scrum. And then finally, the no reset rule carried over from 2024. If you get a penalty at a scrum, you can't choose another scrum. Why is this a lump of coal for me? Well, people were afraid it would basically eliminate the scrum from domestic American rugby. The stats don't bear that out, but even if the number of scrums didn't fall off a cliff, you could still argue that the option to scrum at a maul or a goal line knock on, or the option, that this hurts the development of what a lot of people view as the potential sort of dominance, maybe of American props. An American tight head, if he never has a chance to survive a power scrum on his own 5-meter line, is that guy going to be ready to face the Springboks in 2027?
I was just going to say, you can't play against the Springboks unless you've scrummed a billion times.
Yes.
This kind of,
because they've all scrummed 2 billion times.
And for me, this kind of signals like a shift toward entertainment first, development second. It's the perception of devaluing the set piece that has fans like me worried. I feel like I should have been wagging my finger this whole time. And Craig Manson, if you're listening, this little bit was for you.
I think you're 100% right. That's absolutely the right angle to be taking. I think that it will nerf our development and our ability to play overseas, which I know that we do want to shift away from as well. Great. Okay. Good luck. But sure. You're not going to keep me here with that.
Well, sadly, I have another bit of sort of nerdy call to give out. Utah's Frank Lejore, I think that's right, but I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. He set an all-time MLR single-season record in 2025 with 303 tackles. So while that might seem like a gift for his resume, it's kind of a lump of coal for the Warriors defense, because if your lock has to make 300 plus tackles, it means your team is spending almost the entire game, an entire season without
defending.
The ball. I do have one more MLR tidbit. I'll call it a stocking stuffer. Last year, the MLR top point scorer was Chris Helsenbeck with 109 points. The fact that a fly half is still the king of the scoreboard, despite all the law changes to speed up the game, shows that rugby, I composed this, is still won by the boot and the brain, even if they've messed with the beauty of the brawl up front. You like that little bit of alliteration there?
You love an alliteration.
Well, my friends, it's been a roller coaster of a year for me. I'm not that heartbroken to see it in the rearview mirror. Before I let you all go, any final thoughts, any gifts or lumps of coal kind of left around in your stockings or in your giant sack, I guess? Any final thoughts as we close the book on 2025?
So I have a gift connected with another piece of coal. So the gift is the success of WER and it appearing that it's going to be entering its second season unchanged. And that was a fun competition. The coal, and this is a USA Rugby thing in general with our sports leagues, is our broadcasting deals are garbage.
Yep.
Snaps to you. Yes, I don't want to interrupt
Yes.
you. Dead on.
And then one other, Julia, you brought this up a little bit earlier, that if you don't have an MLR team, you're probably not going to get a WER team. And right now there's no MLR team across the entire South.
Oh, I know. That's our number one complaint with WER. It's an absolute oversight. We all thought New Orleans was getting a WER team.
Yes.
We were almost sure.
Yes.
It's insane. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, especially Kolya has been a fantastic spokesman for it, but New Orleans especially is a hotbed of rugby. It's an absolute oversight not to be there.
Well, does the dissolution of New Orleans Gold, does this indicate less likelihood of a WER team landing there?
That's a great question. And, New Orleans was one that was talked about, but obviously the next one that people talk most about that aren't in places that aren't the South or the Southwest, everybody says probably Austin. Mm-hmm. I mean, Texas, not having a single WER team in Texas is kind of
yes.
It's very silly.
With how many teams there are in Texas, it's huge, ridiculous.
Well, not only a huge supply of really high quality teams, which means also high quality players, but also we've got a hub of officiants there already. You could even start folding in more people. There's a lot of trainees there, people under mentorships. I mean, Texas
I can name
right.
6 refs off the top of my head that could get in WER
and it would be
the TRRA.
Exactly. And it would be so mutually beneficial.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a slam dunk. We would definitely like to be doing that, especially considering, and we don't need to go into this at all, but considering the interesting bureaucratical problems that USA Rugby keeps having with their refs. Maybe you could get a ref win. Be nice.
Well, devil's advocate, there were multiple teams in Austin in the MLR, and all of them are gone. Does that tell us that those teams were handled badly, or that Austin is not a place for rugby professionally?
Are you talking about Texas in general?
Right.
No, well, there was the original Austin team, and then they changed their name, and then they got the Australian guy, and then that was the end.
I was going to say, and I hate to direct this to where I always love to direct everything, but WER doesn't have rich owners.
Yeah.
It's not franchise.
Interesting.
I don't think WER has the ability or has the capacity for somebody to just pull out and rug pull a whole team.
Right. This was such a frustrating off season too, because I've been lucky enough to talk. So Alex Magleby was the CEO of the Free Jacks. He's now co-president of MLR, so he's not affiliated with the Free Jacks anymore. But
now we'll have him on the pod. Now that he doesn't have to shill the Free Jacks.
He's a great guy to talk to anyway. But he years ago specifically told me that part of the process, if you think I want to own a team in Major League Rugby, one of the things they lay down at the beginning and the middle and the end of the process is, by the way, you're going to lose a lot of money. You don't expect in the next 2 or 3 years you're suddenly going to see a profit. You're
This isn't a
not.
turnkey investment.
Right. We can guarantee you are going to lose money. We're not saying you might make some
You
money.
might.
We're saying you're not going to for years now. And that was a fundamental, key aspect to getting a franchise. And yet this offseason, people were like, actually,
Financiers don't like to hear that.
Yes. Yes. And then I do have one other tiny piece of coal. And this is to someone whose content I love. I'm going to call out another content person.
Ooh.
The Squidge team.
No.
You cursed us.
Oh, okay, that's fine. They'll agree.
Your video on USA Rugby cursed us.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say I thought you were going to accuse them of cursing the Ospreys, and I was like, too soon.
No. Your video on USA Rugby cursed us. And I know y'all have already mentioned it in one of the things that or after the Scotland match that y'all cursed us with this, that you caused this MLR fallout and the Scotland match. So if you want this lump of coal to go away, what you need to do, Squid, is come on the pod.
Counterspell.
I have something for me. Log off.
Sadly, I've been friendly with Will for years now, but I think he's broken up with me. I think I did something that I'm unaware of entirely because I can't get him to reply anymore. So I think we may have lost our in.
That was who I was going to text. So
yeah,
feel free because I can't get a reply. I can't get a response now.
I will find out about that too. We're just airing it all out. Will, I'm going to text you.
Still love those guys. Will was one of my
love you.
earliest guests. We talked about the Women's World Cup before this one. He was great. Anyway, yeah, I love those guys. And yeah, that video was a punch in the tummy, and it's just kept coming since then. Although very well done, of course.
Yes, yes.
And like true Americans, we're going to end it on blaming someone else.
Yeah, no. I have a final gift. So related to USA Rugby in general and related to the 50th anniversary, we kind of led with this year we had a big financial gift. The Golden Gala held in DC this past July was the crown jewel of the 50th anniversary, and it raised over $1.8 million.
I know. I wanted to go really badly, and the lowest ticket was $1,500.
Boof! Wow, that explains it. That made it the single largest fundraising event in the organization's history. And you know what they say, $1 million here, $1 million there. Eventually it adds up to real money.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
It was no Michelle Kwong, but there it is.
No, but I mean the XV Foundation, what Christine Summer and Alicia Washington do, great work. I'm stoked for them. I usually use Girl Boss derisively, but in very limited circumstances, Girl Boss is hell.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Julia, Kolya, as always, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and your insights. Any final stray thoughts before we call a full lid? Anything you're looking forward to, in fact, now that we've got a brand new year stretching out in front of us?
I will say Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. And David, I can't wait to see you in March.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks
and
to
I hope
everyone.
Kolya.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for listening to us as we've started this. And hopefully a gift to all of us will be when the French women's top tier gives us access to actually watch some of our US players.
Please let us watch Nia Tolliver. Please.
We would love to talk more about it.
I'm looking forward to what's been a great PWR season. I'm looking forward to seeing our Eagles, who frankly are making big differences in that competition this year. I think we are influencing it heavily. I'm hoping the men can figure some things out. I have no idea when our next fixture might be. Same thing with women over the 15s. I have no idea. Looking forward to the sevens. The USA men are back for the Singapore leg. I'm not expecting a ton of things about them, but it'll be nice to see them participating. And I'm going to say I think we could get top two for the women in the sevens. And despite me being scared to death of Chicago, hey, uncrown the champs, man. My Free Jacks could go 4-peat. They've only got 5 teams to beat this year, so we won't start. We won't start till April. So the final snowstorm in Massachusetts this year is guaranteed to be on April 10th through 12th. It's pretty much automatic.
Great.
Okay, as always, thanks to Lee, Hugh, and all the folks at the Wrap. Thanks and Happy New Year to all our partners at the Global Gainline Network. But most of all, thanks to all of you for coming along and watching or listening. It's been a great 20 episodes thus far. We're looking forward to more this year and watching this channel grow. Until next time, from all of us, happy holidays, happy New Year. Cheers. Thanks to you all, and be well.